Be me, 29. Systems architect for a logistics firm. Make decent money, nothing obscene, but the 401k is maxed out every. Drive a 2018 Toyota Camry. It's gray. It's reliable. It gets me from point A to point B without drama. This is the metaphor for my entire existence. I like quiet evenings, cooking from scratch, and woodworking in the garage. I value silence, predictability, and the slow accumulation of wealth and skill. Enter Sarah, 27. Marketing coordinator / aspiring influencer, vibe curator. We've been dating for 3 years. Living together for 2. She's beautiful in that chaotic, high-maintenance way that drains your battery while looking great in photos. Loves spontaneity, which is usually code for poor planning and spending money we didn't budget for. Loves the idea of main character energy. Considers a quiet Friday night a personal insult to her youth. I pay the rent. I pay the utilities. I pay for the groceries because she insists on organic, free-range, blessed by monks avocados that cost $4 a pop. I fix her car when the check engine light comes on because she ignored it for 3 months. I listen to her vent about her toxic coworkers for hours, offering logical solutions she immediately rejects because she just wants to be heard. I am the rock. I am the foundation. And apparently, I am boring as hell. It starts on a Tuesday. Tuesdays are taco nights. I make the same tacos every week because I perfected the spice blend 3 years ago. Why change what works? We are eating. Silence in the kitchen, just the sound of the dishwasher humming. I fixed the pump last week. She puts down her fork. Looks at me with that specific glaze in her eyes. The look of someone who has been scrolling TikTok for 6 hours straight watching people live in renovated school buses. Is this it, Anon? I chew slowly. Is what it? This, the tacos, the Camry, the 9 to 5, the mortgage. We don't have a mortgage yet, Sarah. We're saving for a down payment. We're on track to buy in the Heights by next year. She sighs. It's a long, shuddering sigh intended to convey the weight of a soul being crushed by suburban mediocrity. You're so practical. Practical keeps the lights on. But where's the fire? Where's the passion? I feel like I'm suffocating in safety. I take a sip of water. Safety is a luxury, Sarah. Most of the world kills for safety. She rolls her eyes. You sound like my dad. I'm young. I'm supposed to be making mistakes. I'm supposed to be feeling things. I don't say anything. I know where this is going. I've seen the texts popping up on her phone screen when she leaves it on the counter. Julian. Julian is a freelance creative, which means he's unemployed and has a trust fund or a very patient mother. He plays bass in a band that performs exclusively in basements that smell like cat piss. He has tattoos of constellations he can't identify. He talks about energy and vibrations and capitalist shackles. He is the exact opposite of me. He is chaos. And chaos is sexy when you've had your bills paid by stability for 3 years. 2 weeks later, the talk happens. She waits until I've just finished sanding a new coffee table I built from walnut. I'm covered in sawdust, holding an orbital sander. She stands in the doorway of the garage. She's wearing her "I'm leaving you" outfit. Leather jacket, combat boots, hair done up perfectly messy. I can't do this anymore, Anon. I turn off the sander. The silence rushes back into the garage. Okay. She blinks. She was expecting a fight. She was expecting me to beg, to plead, to promise to sell the Camry and buy a motorcycle. She wanted the drama to validate her decision. She wanted a scene she could recount to her friends over mimosas to prove she's the protagonist in a romantic tragedy. "Just okay?" she asks, voice trembling slightly. "If you're unhappy, you should go. I don't want to be with someone who doesn't want to be here." "It's not that I don't love you," she starts the script. "It's just, I need to find myself. I need to explore. I need to know who Sarah is outside of Sarah and Anan." And Julian helps with that search. She freezes. It's not about him. He understands art. He sees the world in colors. Anan, you see it in spreadsheets. Spreadsheets built the logistics network that delivered that leather jacket you're wearing. See that right there? You reduce everything to logistics. You have no soul. I brush the sawdust off my apron. I have a soul, Sarah. It just requires peace to function. You require noise. She starts crying. Not sad tears. Frustrated tears, because I'm not following the script. I'm moving out this weekend. I'm going to stay with a friend. Then I'm going to Europe, backpacking. I need to get lost. Okay, do you need help packing? She looks at me like I'm a monster. How can you be so cold? Does 3 years mean nothing to you? It means a lot. That's why I'm respecting your decision without making it harder than it needs to be. She storms off. I turn the sander back on. The walnut isn't going to smooth itself. The move out is efficient. I box up her things. Label them. Help her load them into Julian's rusted-out 1995 Ford Econoline van. Julian refuses to make eye contact with me. He's wearing a beanie in July. He smells like patchouli and stale American spirits. He tries to lift a box of books. Struggles. I pick it up with one hand and slide it into the van. Careful with the suspension, I tell him. Rear shocks look shot. He mumbles something about materialism. Sarah hugs me one last time. She smells like the perfume I bought her for Christmas. I hope you find someone who likes being still, she says. It's meant to be a parting shot. A critique of my nature. I hope you find what you're looking for, Sarah. They drive off. The van backfires. A cloud of black smoke lingers in the driveway. I watch until they turn the corner. Then I walk back inside. Their apartment is quiet. It's very, very quiet. I look at the empty space on the shelf where her collection of healing crystals used to be. I feel a pang in my chest. A sharp, jagged ache. I'm human. I loved her. But I look at the bank account ledger on my laptop. I look at the cleanliness of the kitchen. I look at the freedom to do literally whatever I want. I take a deep breath. I go to the garage. Time to stain the table. 6 months pass. The boring arc begins. I dive into work. Take on a massive project, restructuring the supply chain for a pharmaceutical client. Complex, high stress, requires absolute precision. I love it. I work 10 hours a day, gym for 1.5 hours, cook, sleep. My body fat drops to 12%. My savings account hits a milestone I've been aiming for since I was 22. I upgrade the Camry. Not to a sports car. To a Lexus. Still reliable, still sensible, but quieter, smoother leather seats. I start dressing better. Not flashy. Just high-quality basics. Fitted t-shirts, good denim, Red Wing boots that I maintain religiously. I spend weekends in the woodshop. I start selling pieces. Custom dining tables, bookshelves. High-end stuff. Rich people love authenticity and handcrafted. I charge them exorbitant amounts for my hobby. I'm not lonely. I'm solitary. There is a difference. I date casually. A few dates here and there. Most women talk about travel, about vibes, about how their ex was a narcissist. I listen, I pay the bill, I don't call them back. I'm looking for something specific. I'm looking for peace. Meanwhile, the adventure arc. I don't follow Sarah on social media. I muted her the day she left. But mutual friends talk. Dave, my buddy from college, shows me her Instagram one night over beers. Bro, you gotta see this train wreck. I look. Sarah in Paris. Caption, finding my soul in the city of light's wanderlust freedom. She looks tired. The lighting is good, but the eyes are dim. Sarah in a hostel in Berlin. Caption, community is everything. Sleeping in a room with 12 strangers teaches you humility. Translation, she's broke and Julian's art isn't selling. Sarah in a van in Portugal. Caption, van life isn't always glamorous, but it's real. Photo shows her cooking beans on a camp stove in the rain. Julian is in the background, looking scruffy and miserable. There's a GoFundMe link in her bio. Help us continue our creative journey and document the human spirit. They've raised $45. Dave laughs. She traded a $401K and a heated apartment for dysentery and a beggar's cup. I hand the phone back. She wanted to feel things. Hunger and cold are feelings. You're cold as ice, Anan. I'm just observing. Month 8. I'm at a lumber yard. Looking for white oak. I'm inspecting the grain on a board, focused. That's a beautiful piece, but it's got a check near the end. You'll lose 6 inches. I turn around. Woman standing there. Maybe 28. Sharp eyes, glasses, hair tied back in a functional bun. Wearing a trench coat and business casual attire, but wearing boots that can handle sawdust. I saw the check, I say. I'm cutting it down for a console table. I only need 4 feet. She nods, approving. Quarterson, good choice, stability. I like stability. She smiles. It's not a flirtatious, hair-twirling smile. It's a smile of mutual recognition. I'm Alina. Anand. What do you do, Anan, besides hoarding the good oak? Systems architect, logistics. Her eyes light up. Actually light up. No way, I'm a supply chain analyst for the hospital network. I just spent 3 hours yelling at a vendor about JIT delivery failures. We talk for 20 minutes. About supply chains. About wood grains. About the price of copper. It is the most boring conversation imaginable to 99% of the population. It is the most erotic thing I have experienced in years. She checks her watch. I have to go. I have a budget meeting at 2. Would you like to discuss logistics over dinner sometime? She looks me up and down. Assesses me like I assess the oak. Saturday, 7 p.m. There's a quiet Italian place on 4th. They have excellent wine and the acoustics allow for actual conversation. Perfect. Dating Alina is different. There is no drama. There is no chasing. We are 2 adults building a structure. She comes over to my place. She sees the clean kitchen. She sees the organized books. She sees the workshop. She doesn't say, "You're boring." She runs her hand over the walnut table I built. The joinery here is immaculate, Anan, mortise and tenon. Domino mostly, but hand-cut on the visible joints. Efficient, I like it. She opens a bottle of wine. We sit on the couch. We don't watch Netflix. We read. She's reading a medical journal. I'm reading a book on investing strategies. It's silent, but it's a warm silence. A companionable silence. She looks up. I used to know a girl like your ex, she says. I never mentioned Sarah's personality. just that I was out of a long relationship. Oh, yeah, always chasing the high, always needing to be the center of the movie. It's exhausting. They mistake adrenaline for happiness. You know her. Sarah, yeah, we went to college together. She used to call me a robot because I stayed in to study for finals instead of going to raves. Small world. She said I lacked fire. Elena laughs. Fire burns out anon. Hearths keep the house warm for generations. I'll take the hearth. I look at her. She is competence personified. She is stability. She is beautiful in a way that doesn't fade when the makeup comes off. I realize I have upgraded in every conceivable metric. Month 11. The crash. I get a text. Unknown number. But I know the area code. Hey, I'm back in town. I don't reply. 2 hours later. Can we talk? I left some things at the apartment. She didn't. I mailed everything to her parents' house. I reply, I sent everything to your parents, Sarah. There's nothing here. Immediate response. It's not about the stuff. I made a mistake anon. I put the phone down. I'm cooking dinner. Risotto. Requires constant stirring. Requires patience. Elena is pouring wine. She asks. Yeah. The wanderlust run out of funds. Something like that. She's going to come here. You think? They always do. The reality of the bad boy artist sets in. The van smells. The money runs out. They realize that boring meant safe and fed. She wants her safety net back. I'm not a net. I know, but she doesn't. Saturday morning. I'm in the driveway, washing the Lexus. Elena is inside making coffee. A beat-up Uber pulls up. Sarah steps out. She looks different. Thinner, but not in a healthy way. Hair is frizzy. Clothes are the same boho chic, but worn out, stained. She looks older. Harder. She walks up the driveway. She sees the Lexus. She sees me. I'm wearing a fitted t-shirt, looking healthy, calm. She stops a few feet away. Benange. Sarah. You look good. I am good. She wraps her arms around herself. Europe was intense. Julian and I, we grew apart. He wasn't who I thought he was. People rarely are. He left me in Barcelona with the bill. I'm sorry to hear that. I missed you, Anon. I missed this. She gestures to the house, the car, the lawn. I missed knowing that things would be okay. I realized you were right. Safety is a luxury. I took it for granted. She takes a step closer. I'm ready to settle down now. I got it out of my system. I'm ready to be boring with you. The audacity is almost impressive. She views me as an NPC. A save point she can return to after she fails the level. She thinks my life has been on pause, waiting for her to press play. Sarah, you can't just come back. Why not? We were good together. We were a team. I was the team. You were a passenger. She flinches. That's harsh. I'm trying to apologize. I want to try again. I've changed. I've changed too. The front door opens. Elena walks out. She's wearing one of my oversized flannels and holding 2 mugs of coffee. She looks effortless, radiant with the glow of a woman who slept 8 hours in a high thread count bed and has a high-yield savings account. Sarah freezes. Her eyes widen. She recognizes Elena. The robot. The study grind girl she mocked in college. Elena, Sarah gasps. Elena takes a sip of coffee. Hi Sarah, long time. I see the Finding Yourself tour has concluded. Sarah looks from me to Elena. The realization hits her like a freight train. She sees the dynamic instantly. She sees that Alina is everything she refused to be. And she sees that I value Alina in a way I never valued her. Because Alina is an equal, not a dependent. You're with her, Sarah stammers, but she's so stable, I offer. Reliable, Alina adds. Adult, I finish. Sarah's face crumbles. The main character, delusion shatters. She realizes she isn't the protagonist of this story. She's the backstory. She's the lesson. I didn't know, Sarah whispers. You didn't ask, I say. You assumed I was just waiting in stasis. I moved on, Sarah. I upgraded. It's cold. It's the meanest thing I've ever said. But it's the truth. I should go, she says, voice breaking. Yeah, I say, you should. She turns around, walks back to the curb, pulls out her phone to call another Uber. She looks small. She looks defeated. There is no wanderlust left, just the crushing weight of consequences. Alina hands me my coffee. Black, 2 ice cubes, just how you like it. Thanks. We watch Sarah get into a Honda Civic and drive away. You okay? Alina asks. I take a sip. The coffee is perfect. The morning air is crisp. My house is paid for. My partner is a genius. My conscience is clear. I'm fantastic. Good, she says. Now come inside. I want to show you the specs on that new retaining wall for the garden. I smile. Talk dirty to me. By me. 30 years old. Married to Alina. We have a combined household income that puts us in the top bracket. We have a wood shop in the back. We have a wine cellar. We travel twice a year, first class, to places we research thoroughly. No hostels. No drama. Just high-quality experiences enjoyed in comfort. Sometimes I think about Sarah. Heard she's working as a receptionist at a yoga studio downtown. Still single. Still posting quotes about waiting for the one who can handle her fire. I look at Alina. She's asleep on my shoulder. We're watching a documentary on civil engineering. This is the boring life. And it is absolute paradise.